Maybe I'll just jump in and give a little bit of my background, I
Yeah,
guess, Rob.
right.
And let's see. Um, I mean, the topic is Warriors for Christ. I'll just say that, I came to Christ just a few years ago, basically, in a pure sense. I would like to say that I lived my whole life with Christian values in the family that I was raised. Always been a good person. Um, always operated in my life in a way that says, do the right thing when no one's looking, kind of thing. But was never going to be somebody who said, hey, Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. So it wasn't authentic to me. Um, so I always kind of said, hey, I can't join that club until, I guess I would say now, the good Lord moves me to embrace that in an authentic way. And so a little more than 2 years ago, that event happened for me on that topic. And my work background, somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 years of kind of in the innovation, problem solving reality. I've worked with organizations like Nike for a number of years, sports industry, other sports industry players. That led me into government, DoD kind of realities, which took me more in the special operations side of things as a problem solver, not as a door kicker or a combative element, more supporting those assets in the JSOC and SOCOM reality, kind of the tier 1, tier 2 world. And that could be anywhere from equipment to technologies to human performance to medical solutions as well. Sat on a Harvard think tank for a bit, worked on DARPA projects, a little bit of overlap at the agency, and and then did a little tour of duty with Kanye West as his chief advisor. So had a pretty wide experience set across a few decades, and have been blessed enough to support initiatives that were, by many accounts, at each turn, kind of impossible tasks, and then based on kind of being an intersection of really high performers in those various industries, was generally enabled to solve problems that people felt were impossible. And so over the decades of doing that stuff, it kind of emboldened me to be a believer in the context of anything is possible if the right people are sitting at the table with the right open-mindedness and the right belief set. And so, of course, with all of that and getting saved, so to speak, coming out of a lifetime of martial arts, working in the military, looking at systems across multiple industries, and then experiencing what we did in this global pandemic where everyone was locked down and everyone was asked to put on a face covering and everyone was locked in their living quarters pretty much worldwide. Um, as a believer, it made me wonder, where are the disciples of God? Where are the warriors of Christ that will kind of just stand up and speak out against what ended up kind of becoming a bit of a oppression against people's faith and the way they want to pursue their faith, I guess. I'm personally not heavily religious. I use kind of words like a little bit derogatorily, like churchianity and Christianese and things like that some of my mentors have kind of educated me on, that become catch-alls for trying to avoid Christianese, trying to avoid churchianity. No disrespect. I know you're a pastor, Rob, so that's your walk. And so
Offense. No offense.
thank you. So anyway, that's my background. That's kind of a little bit of a breadcrumb trail as to why this topic has become something important to me. And so, and talking to Nikos about it, we're on different continents, obviously, and so, but faith is a global thing for our species, so to speak. And so we've had a lot of exchanges about different challenges that different regions of the world and different geologies and different cultures have. And so I think when you're there where he is, you guys obviously talked about it. He brought it up to you and invited you to have this conversation because he knows that I try to have this conversation about kind of like warriors for Christ, or I have a group of guys that we do something we call a fight club for Christ, essentially. And so we get together once a week and we go through scriptures and we tailor the whole conversation around what it means to be a man of God in the modern time, what it means to be willing to step up in your community and be a beacon for light, or for God, or for people being able to have their sovereignty, so to speak. And so, I try to choose my words carefully because they're very inflammatory these days, as you know, as a leader of a church. So anyway, that's probably enough for me to start. But that's kind of gives you an idea of where I come from and a little bit about my reason for engaging in this conversation. And look forward to like talking more and hearing your thoughts on this topic in a loose sense. So.